this session, we'll be covering the Practice Information screen. You can access the screen by going to File and Practice Information. The first tab is titled Practice. First item on this tab is Practice Name. This needs to be exactly as it appears on our invoice or our customer records, with one exception which I'll address later. Following that is the address information. That's just your standard address as you wish it to appear on bills and statements. Next is your phone number, fax, and email address. The next box is the billing contact and their phone extension. This is information that will print on certain claims, and you need to have it filled in correctly for the biller. Privacy official is the person designated to handle HIPAA. Then you have an employer ID, a laptop sync ID, which will be covered in the laptop sync section, and sales tax. Next you have a serial number and an activation key. These will be filled in on a non-demo version exactly as we give them to you. You'll not be able to use the program without these filled in. The next tab is the Options tab. First box you see here is Log Off after blank minutes. Leaving this blank disables automatic log off. Any other item will make it log off after no activity after however many minutes you put in the box. You have the local area code and the outside line. That's just the number needed to dial out. These are for use if you're using a dialer with AltaPoint. You also have the option to select a modem. The next box is Schedule Lock Records. It's the method you choose to have it locked. By day, only lets one person edit that day in the schedule at once. By record, lets only one person into a specific appointment at once. This box keeps data from getting corrupted or duplicates from being entered. It's your choice on which to use. Inventory costing, you have the option to choose between standard and average costing. Credit card processor, credit card server, and the merchant number will all be covered in the credit card add-on section. They're only for use if you have purchased the add-on for AltaPoint. Next you have the path for documents. This is the file path where the documents are stored. For example, if we were to store it in my documents on the local computer, it would look like that. Next document number is for auto numbering of the documents. Default lab reviewer is a lookup to an employee. This is the person you wish to have review labs by default. Next is auto numbering. You can choose to auto number patients, addresses, or both, or neither. Next two boxes are multiple patient windows and multiple billing windows. They give you the option to have more than one patient window open at a time, or more than one billing window open at a time. Then you have the checkbox Use Enter Key for next field. Means just what it says. It makes the Enter key work like Tab. And you also have Disable Backup Reminders. This is the reminder that will pop up every time you close AltaPoint. If you check this, it will no longer remind you to back up. And the next box is force the US zip code format. That's pretty self-explanatory, and obviously the language. The patient, contact, employee, and billing tabs are all for custom fields for each area of the program, and we'll be going over those in the future. The Messages tab is the dunning messages. These will print on statements. You have a message for each increment of time, and you can put a different message in each one of those boxes. The Graphics tab gives you the ability to set up graphics categories, which will be covered when we go over images. The billing service tab. This tab is only needed by billing services. You have basic demographics, but the billing service box, this very first one, must match the company name that we provide you with, just as the practice name box needs to. If you fill in anything on the billing service tab, the billing service box needs to. Now, if you do have something in the billing service box, you're free to change the actual practice name on the practice name box. That's how we work with billing services. We'll go to the electronic claims tab. You have the Medicare ID and the Medicaid ID. Those are used for their group numbers, which will be provided. There's custom ID 1, 2, and 3. They're used for custom numbers, which you wish to have pulled on forms. Custom ID 3 may be your group NPI if you converted from version 6. Our forms are set up to pull from custom ID 3 and then from the NPI box. The taxonomy code and NPI are self-explanatory. The logo tab. You have the option to import a logo that can print on statements and other forms. It's not necessary, but it can add a nice little touch to your paperwork. You can load, save, or clear any image file. Email. All the email and eFax settings are on this screen. We will never provide you with the info you need to fill in here. This information will come from your internet provider or your email provider if they're separate. You will never get this information by calling tech support. This concludes the session on practice information.